How's everybody out there in YouTube land today? I hope this finds you well. I'm out here with my cohort in crime, Matt Haas. He's going to be implicated one way or the other.
I brought bail money this time. Speeds up the process.
When I get arrested, I'm just going to look at the cops and say, he did it.
I'll say she did it.
Oh, shoot. Well, I'll tell you what. We're facing an interesting week coming up because, let's see, first of all, President Biden signed the stimulus bill that was passed by the House and the Senate today. So a lot of people's going to be getting a little bit of money in the next few weeks.
Stimmy money, baby. Stimmies.
So that was the first thing. And then the second thing is that on Saturday night, Sunday morning, we're going to be changing the clocks.
Ooh,
we're spring forward 1 hour. So mark your calendar so you don't forget, or Sunday morning you're going to be late for church or wherever you go, or or early. I forget how that works, but yeah. I think you're going to be way early is what it's going to be. But yeah, we got that coming up. And then next Wednesday, Shore and Bigolora.
Aaron go bra.
Does that tell you anything?
Is it the luck of the Irish?
I think so.
Woohoo! I wore my green Washington Nationals cap. That's the baseball team. And they got the white logo, but it was all green. I went to go pick up food at a restaurant, and I'm like, well, it's March. Might as well rock the sports cap with the green logo. So yeah. Yep. I'm into it.
Gonna be the Shamrock Day.
Well, it's definitely my color, green. I love me the green.
Everybody be celebrating next Wednesday. So that's coming up. And then
everyone's Irish on that day.
Yeah. Then we'll have a show before the actual, spring arrives. That's the 21st. So we got one more show to get in before it's official. But I put the name of the show as Have Your Robins Flown the Coop? Because we've been having a nice warm week here. It's been kind of stormy, windstormy and rainy today and all that. But the temperature is going to be dropping back down into the 30s by the weekend.
That's not good.
So I'm just wondering, has everybody's robins flown the coop?
I don't know. My nephew's girlfriend posted, I hope you're enjoying this faux spring weather here in central Pennsylvania. It's like a trial period. And I said to her, I'm like, I don't know where to put my credit card information. I don't need a trial period. I just want to buy spring right now.
Yeah, stop giving me the infomercial. Just, bring on the real thing. Let's go here. Oh,
take my money.
Have you ever been wrapped up in one of them things, where you want the product? You see the product and you're interested in the product. You listen to a couple minutes of their spiel and you're like, yeah, I want that product. But you have to listen to like 25 minutes of their garbage before it finally gives you a link, even though they're still, blathered on about it, that you can click to actually purchase the product.
Yeah, I've done that back in the day. That's pretty much not needed in today's day and age where there's one click buy. But yeah. I bought knives. I bought the Ginsu knives, although they weren't Ginsu, but they were off the infomercial. I was actually traveling, sitting in a hotel room. It's too early to go to bed. It was too late to kind of start anything in town. So I popped it on. I'm like, I could use some new knives. I called the number, gave my credit card. A couple of weeks later, it showed up.
I was
20 years ago.
There's not much in those infomercials that really intrigue me, but there is one thing that I have seen over the course of the last several months that does, but I haven't got money. My pockets ain't deep enough to get it. It's that. Let
me guess.
Okay.
Head on, apply directly to the forehead.
No. No,
Hold on. Did you know they don't even say what that product is for? It's like lip balm, but you put it on your forehead. But the reason you put it on is absent of the commercial or the packaging or anything. Anyway, I'm sorry. Okay,
No,
what did you?
It's that roaster oven thing that Emerald has out.
Oh, I thought it was the set it and forget it.
No, it's the roaster oven that does, it's got the rotisserie thing in it, or you can use it as a toaster. You can use it as an oven. It's got like 2 or 3 rack things in it, and it basically it replaces your stove is what it does.
Got it.
But they want like $400 for it. No, I can't do that. I mean, for that, you can go out and buy another oven.
No, I bought one of those set it and forget it machines, the rotisserie.
Yeah.
And the thing about a rotisserie is the juices just keep rolling around. It's hard for the juices to fall off. Now it will, but since it's spinning, it auto juices itself.
Yeah. Just spins in its own juice. Well, we got a whole bunch of people out here in the chat. We probably need to recognize some of them. Russell Clarity from Simply Wooden Creations is out there. He was the first one in the chat tonight.
Oh, baby. Gold
And
star for Russell.
Me and his wife and Jim Bashir's wife's going to get together. And we're going to compare notes on these fellers. And I'm going to teach them gals a few things they don't know. And
oh, Lord. I want to make sure I'm not in the state you're in when that happens. Because I want to be far away.
Well, we could include Tracy in this. We could get her involved too. It's not an exclusive group. Jim Bashir's is out there. Arlene Atkinsell is in the house. Steve Nealon is in the house. Let's say Mel is in the house. Good to see you, Mel.
356 is here.
Mr. Doughboy is in the house. And scrolling on down, I don't think I've missed anybody, but if I did, type something else in the chat. We'll recognize you. Sometimes we miss things. My eyes ain't what they used to be. Doctor's got me on new medication this week for the eyes, and that's screwing up the whole works. They put me on steroids, and that's messed up the diet. I'm not even getting on the scales until this eye thing is settled, and I had a tooth pulled the other day and get that settled because I know I'm retaining water, and I don't want to disappoint myself by getting on the scales and, I'm just realizing that, okay, you got some medical conditions that you got to get under control here. Then we'll get back to worrying about the scales again. So gotcha. That's what's going on with that. But as far as I'm concerned, we're still at 50 down. And that's, hey, there's a long way to go. But, hey, it got this far. Do the Imeds work? They seem to be the
same color.
The same color. Well, they don't change the color of your eye. What they're supposed to do is clear up any infection that's in there. It's got 2 different antibiotics and it's got the steroids in there. And are they working? Well, the eyes are better than they were, but I'm not going to say they're well. And he told me if it's not working to come back in. Well, it's sort of working. So I think I'm going to put it off until I finish them up. I'm done with him on Sunday, and then he'll be back in the office on Tuesday. So if they're still acting up on Tuesday, I'll be back in there again. But he said that he had one more medicine that he could use on him. And, I hate to go through everything in the pharmacy.
Yeah. Just a revolving door of drugs.
But I would like for the eyes to get cleared up here. So we'll see what happens.
Brenda, we got Jim Dockrell's here, and Kenneth, the famous Kentucky fam, is here.
Well, good to have both of you in the house. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We'll be doing a giveaway here in a little while. So, everybody stick around if you want to get in on the giveaway. Be sure and share this out. Share. Did I say share?
You have to be present to win. Someone in the chat's going to win a prize that Brenda will mail to you if you're in the lower 48.
That's right. Well, I'll mail it out at 48 if they want to pay the postage.
That's true. Pay the postage, they'll mail it anywhere in the world. Will you mail to Shanghai, China?
If they pay the postage.
Nice.
If they pay the postage. Mel Mel says, getting tooth pulled is no fun. I was on the scale the other day and it said to be continued. Yeah,
Mel,
that's pretty much
Mel.
what it says when I get on the scales too. And it, I had to make some changes on that. And it's not a diet I'm on. I've had a lot of people say, "How's the diet going?" It's not a diet. What it is it's eating healthier, making better choices.
That's good.
Not eating out of a wash trough, getting a small bowl.
Yeah.
Don't get the big wash tub.
See, I bought myself a scale, and it has a feature where it compares the previous weight and tells you if you're what up or down weight you are compared to the last time you weighed yourself.
Well, see, I would call that a liar. And
hey, Rich Vibes is here. Hi, Rich.
Hello, Rich. Good to see you.
Are
Welcome
you aware of what Rich Vibes does on the interwebs, Brenda?
No.
He is a DJ, and there is a streaming service. It's not Twitch, Facebook, YouTube. It's a separate streaming service where they don't copyright strike you because the streaming service pays the artist royalties for every song that you play. So it's rife with DJs. There's all these DJs spinning the tunes, and he'll do things like today's show is only remixes of songs. So it's never just a straight song as it hit, when it was published. It's remixed with something else. And then it'll do all different kinds of shows like that. It's Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern because he's in the UK. So it's later, it's evening hours up for him. But I caught the tail end of one of his shows. He was spinning the tunes. And there's a chat, and he puts the chats up. It's very much like a YouTube live show, but it's not on YouTube, and it was a lot of fun. So yeah, I don't know how you find him. Just search Rich Vibes as he spelled it on YouTube, and I'm sure he's got links to his show. It was different. It's not often I find something different. And I was like, yeah, I'm digging it.
Yeah, well, it is different because, so many people, the copyrights and stuff on YouTube, they can't play this, can't play that. There's a fella that I watch out of Canada that was a DJ, and he's now just traveling all over Canada in his van that he has converted into a camper. And he has all of his DJ equipment and stuff with him. So when he goes to these campsites and stuff, if he's there with a bunch of other people that he's friends with, that they can have like a dance party or something out in the campsite with his DJ equipment. But a lot of people have asked him, when are you going to DJ on YouTube? And he says, I can't, because all of the music that I play is copyrighted music. And he says, they'll copyright strike me if I do that on YouTube. So he can't do that there. Well, it's good to have you with us. Thanks for joining us.
So I'll put Rich Vibes' YouTube channel in the chat. Now, that's not, again, this third-party service he uses. I'm not sure how to get to that. But, Rich, if you want to send me that in a Facebook message, I'll put it in the chat for people if you want. But anyway, I just thought it was cool because it was something different.
Yeah, Arlene was asking what's it called, and so right there you got his YouTube channel put up there, Arlene.
There, but we'll find the direct link to his show.
But yeah, it has been a trying week over here at my house with the eyes and the teeth, and I'm like, Lord have mercy, what's going to go next?
Well, I know. We'll put it this way. You'll be glad when it's all behind you.
Oh, yes. I'm thinking, if you're going to do it now. Let's get it over with before the weather really warms up. Because, Lord, I've got so much work to do here that you would not believe. He says, look above.
I think what happened, Rich, is Facebook suppressed your comment because they don't like people putting URLs. So I am looking above. It's just not visible to the public because you're not a moderator. So if PM me on Facebook if you want, and then I'll drop the link because I have a wrench and you That's what you need. Anyway, I had an interesting day today. My son, he's in college, and he's a junior now, going in soon be a senior. And he's had the girlfriend for a while, and things are now he's moving in. Like the senior year, they're going to be in the same room, and they just got a puppy. Now I'm like, look, you haven't started your post-college life. A dog's probably going to make things more complicated, but I couldn't win that battle. But so they got this puppy, and I met the puppy today. Her name's Willow. She is, they don't know what breed she is. They're calling her a lab mix, and she's a medium-sized dog, but she's only like 12 or 13 weeks old, and she's so soft. She's like a golden color, and she licks you and nibbles. She just loves everyone. She's like, I don't know who you are, but I love you. And she just like, such a lovable animal. I was so happy. One, just to see my son, because he comes around every now and then, but he's not living with me. So it's good to see him when he does show up. And then I got the new puppy. She's adorable. Let me show you.
Well, hopefully when they do end up having youngins, the youngins will be as lovable as the dog.
Let's hope. Let's hope. Here we go. I'm gonna show you the picture.
Russell said that he's been down most of the week with his back. That ain't good.
Yeah, Russ, you gotta get it together, brother. Oh, here we go. I got Rich's show. That's in the chat. There we go. And let me share my screen. If I can share screen, hit the button, so many buttons.
Button. Who's got the button?
There we go. So, yeah. Mixcloud. That's right. That's the
That's where you'll find him.
That's where you'll find him. Yeah, Mixcloud. Let me try.
And you say 3:00 Sunday afternoon Eastern time.
Yep. There we go. Mixcloud. Okay. Anyway, and then here, look at this puppy dog. This puppy dog is totes adorbs. Downloads. Go. It's got to launch Photoshop. Look at the puppy.
Oh, bless its heart. That's got a lot of lab in it.
It's a little girl. Her name's Willow. And she is 100% love. Like all she does is just love. And look, she's got a little white spot right on the top of her head. See that right there?
Yeah.
Little. And so soft. This is the softest dog I have ever. Anyway, I was thrilled. I got to meet my new, I guess that's my, I don't know.
That's your or your
daughter-in-law puppy. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know what you call that. Step dog. I don't know.
Anyway.
Yeah, but I hope when they have youngins that the youngins as friendly as the dog.
Oh, I had yesterday. I had the coffee mug in here that says, "The more I get to know people, the more I love my dog." That's what the coffee mug says. Because Jim Dockrell made a comment. He says, "I like my dog more than most people." That's what made me think of it.
Exactly. Yeah, the dog is forgiving for the most part. I mean, you got to be awful hateful to a dog for it not to forgive you. I think.
Yeah, dogs. They just.
I've seen dogs that have turned because they have been so abused that that they just live under the porch and growl. But you got to be awful hateful to a dog for it to do that because they're very forgiving. And they greet you at the door. They don't care where you've been. They, they sniff you a little bit, see if you've been cheating. You been around somebody else's dog.
Well, even old, almost 12-year-old Shih Tzu, Tinkerbell. She does not play well with others, and she was very accepting. I don't know if she's just getting older. There was a couple barks and growls, and then she got over it right away. And then the new dog sniffed her butt, which she didn't like. She doesn't like that. But other than that, they were relatively good. So.
Well, how are you when somebody comes around and stiffs your butt? I mean, you like,
yeah,
do that again, or
I'm taking it back. Yeah, for sure.
Jim says he wants another dog, but Glenn won't let me have one.
Aw.
Well, what do you need her permission for? You just go get the dog. She comes home and says, well, it's been here all along. Haven't you noticed?
Say, oh, well, if you don't like it, there's the door.
Yeah. Yeah. Years ago, a young friend of mine in a radio club, his mom and dad said that they was going to get another dog. He was still living at home with his mom and dad. And he says, well, if you get another dog, I'm going to move out. Now, this boy was, he was the apple of his mother's eye. And, she just got real bug-eyed when he said that. And I looked at her and I said, tell him you're going to miss him when he's gone. And so she looked at him and says, I'm going to miss you when you're gone. And, he kind of got one of these looks on his face, like, would she really put me out over a dog? Let's see what else they got to say over there.
Oh, looks like they introduced a cat when Jim was away. See, they did it to you. Now you can do it to them, Jim.
Yeah.
Even Steven, fair is square.
Yeah.
That didn't make sense, but you know what I mean.
So yeah, sometimes I lose my mind because I'm animal crazy. If it was up to me, this place would be covered up in farm animals and everything else. But I have downsized considerable since I moved here, because when I moved in, I had 6 dogs and 22 birds and a cat. And now I'm down to 2 dogs and a bird. So, as time has gone on and they aged and, whatever, and my backyard is now a cemetery. But I see these animals, on the lost pets, and people saying, well, this cat's coming to my house. Nobody's claiming it. I got to get rid of it. I can't keep cats here where I'm at, and I think, oh, wouldn't it be great? And then I look over at Fred, my cockatiel. I'm like, ain't no way. I cannot get a cat in here as long as I have Fred. Right. Now, my old cat, she was pretty old when I got her. So she didn't bother Fred much. She'd sit and look at him from time to time, and I'd have to keep an eye on her. And I'd never leave her in the room with him if I was going to be gone. We'd have to shut the door on him and, keep her out of there. But, I can't. He's getting too old. Because I've looked up what they say the age range is on them, and it generally says about 15 years. Well, good Lord, that bird's over 20 years old.
Oh, they age a long time. Yeah.
And so, I'm thinking he ain't no spring chicken as it is, and I can't give that poor thing a heart attack because I brought some cat in the house. Mm-hmm. So, that just can't happen. And then, I look at the dogs. Well, I've got herding dogs. How are those herding dogs going to get along with a cat?
Yeah, you have the Australian Shepherds.
Yep. And then I see dogs, and I think, oh, I could give that dog a real good home. And now I turn around and look at the 2 that I got. And even though, they're coming up, 10 and a half years old now, you would never know it. Anybody that would be around my dogs would swear that they're not over 3 years old. You never seen so much bundles of energy in your entire life as what those dogs do. I have to be careful they don't get me down. They'll run right over you.
I like dogs that have, a lot of energy in them.
Oh,
now Jim has some advice for you. He says, keep the goats in the church parking lot. Brenda lives across the street from a church.
I live right next door to it.
Next door
to the doggone place. Yeah.
Oh,
And-
Moz 42 is here. Hi,
Hey, Moz, good to see you. Hey, Moz, did the stickers ever get to you?
He's from Australia. Are we upside down to you in Australia?
Because he sent me stickers, I sent him stickers, and then the stickers I sent him came back, and then I had to send them again. So I'm wondering, if these world traveling stickers are ever going to make it over there to him.
Corkboard TV's here.
Hey, Scott, good to see you.
I got more stickers from you, Scott. I'm going to send you another care package. I sent him some stickers once before, but he doubled up on the stickers, so you're going to get some more from me when I get around to it. This is how you do that for me if you want to swap. Or if you just want a sticker for free, say you don't have a sticker, but you want this one, I'll just send it to you anywhere in the world.
Well, now, Scott might be going back to Connecticut because spring is coming. I don't know when he plans to go back, if they'll let him go back. They may not let him go back. They may just say, you got to stay down there.
Canada's very particular about who they let cross the border.
That's right. He may have to sneak in. He may have to drive up there as far as he can drive and then get out and sneak through the backwoods.
And if you want citizenship in Canada, you got to meet certain criteria. Like you got to be a productive citizen. You have to tell them what your job is and what you would do there. And then there's only a short list of jobs that are accessible. Not a short list, but there's a list of jobs. And if you don't do one of those jobs, you're rejected immediately. Like don't even apply.
Okay. He says that he is already back in Canada and he'll have to get the stickers from you when he comes back to the States, which will be this fall. I'd say Jim Dockrell says that I need a giant stereo, maybe a PA system, and start play death metal when the church has their services. I have so many things that I would love to do. I want to get one of those remote control witches on a broom and fly it around a church on Sunday morning, just when they're getting ready to start their services, fly it over the parking lots. And I want to get me 2 great big white beach balls. And I want to paint big black solid circles on those beach balls. And then I'm going to hoist them into the big maple tree in front of my house and face them over there toward that church.
It's like big eyeballs.
Yeah. So when they look out the church windows, they see these 2 big eyeballs looking back at them. And
oh, man.
yeah, I got a list of things that I would like to do for that bunch over there.
Do they have the church bells going off all the time?
They used to have that music playing.
But no physical bells?
Well, it was like a bell music.
Okay.
That comes out of the tower, and it was hymns. Now, that doesn't sound bad until you say that, okay, it goes on for 20 minutes at a time, 3 times a day, every day, and 4 times on Sunday. I think the thing broke because it's been down for a while now.
Good.
I'm just hoping that they don't get it fixed. It was down once before, and they got it repaired and went to playing the dickens out of it.
As long as it's not too loud. Do you know what someone did to the loud neighbor boys that had an external garage adjacent to his property, and they would practice their band in there, cranking it up way too high? He built this 10-foot parabolic dish, and he put it on his property facing the garage. And when they went in there the next morning, plugged in, and went like this, it focused all of the sound and blew out all the windows. He didn't do it. It was the guitars.
That'll teach him.
1, 2, 3, 4. And then all the windows break. Like, what's
Well,
going on?
It wasn't that it was that loud. It was just that it was that consistent. It was loud enough that you had to turn up your TV. You had to turn on the TV and turn it up so that you wasn't hearing that constantly. And it was the same music over and over. And it wasn't like, at 10 o'clock they play this and at, 6 o'clock they play. No, It was the same thing over and over. I called it my indoctrination because that's what I felt like I was going through with that. I thought, enough. For people that just coming through town, and they hear it one time, it's like, oh, isn't that nice? Isn't that pleasant? But you living next door to it and you're hearing it every day over and over. You're like, oh, please, just,
See, I lived in a town that's close to the Harrisburg International Airport, but my one friend, he lived right close to it. Like it was 4 blocks from, the tarmac.
Mm-hmm.
And you just get used to it. So we're out having a cookout, these things coming down. And when you're just talking, you kind of like raise your voice a little bit until it goes, it's like, unconscious.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get guests from out of town. They're like, oh my God, just relax. It's just
I have lived close to an airport before, and the only time that would bother me is they had the Emory flights that would fly out early of a morning, and I'm talking like 3:30 in the morning, and it would be every 20 minutes or so there'd be another plane taking off because they're going with the packages, and you'd have to put up with that then until about 7:00. So if you plan to sleep in the morning, early of the morning, before daylight there, you were sadly mistaken because that thing was going to keep you awake unless you had some kind of serious ear protection, ear coverage that you could block it out with. But that was the only time that it ever bothered me. During the day, just regular planes taking off, it never really seemed to faze me. But with this, the music over here at this thing, and I'm thinking, how do people that work nights, I know they're across the street from me on both sides of that parking lot for the church, there's 2, I think 4 unit houses over there, houses that's been turned into apartments. And I know some of the people work nights that's in those. I'm like, how do they deal with that when they're trying to sleep during the day?
They must take chemicals to knock them out. I told you my one friend had that apartment again near the Harrisburg International Airport. The train tracks were 1 block from his house, right across the street from a church, and then tractor trailers would scream by his apartment. So he had the tractor trailer noise, the church noise, train noise, and planes going overhead. And the lady downstairs was on oxygen. And she smoked like a chimney, smoked with oxygen in the apartment. And she was a chain smoker. So you had to deal with so not only were your ears assaulted, your nose was assaulted too, because it smelled like an ashtray.
Holy smoke.
Like, they should just bulldoze that town and just pave it. And then just no residential, no business, just have it be like a wasteland. I don't know.
Arlene says, I live in the flight test zone. Those jets will rattle the hell out of your head. I have, gosh, my eyes aren't focusing.
Latches on the cabinets to prevent my plates from crashing out. Whoa.
Yeah. And
Jim had a technology solution to a barking dog. He says, we have a rat dog chihuahua next to me that barks constantly. I took my 150-watt keyboard amp and pointed it at his house, plugged in the phone into it, and pumped up high frequency until it shut up. So, I presume that was sound humans couldn't hear, but the dog was like, I ain't playing no more.
Yeah.
That's clever, Jim. See, Jim is wicked smart. Jim Bashirs, he knows what's up.
There's somebody that lives 2 or 3 blocks south of me that's got a dog that they let out in the yard, and they don't stay out there with it.
Bye, Rich. Rich has to head out. Drop a like on your way out if you haven't already. Thanks, Rich.
Thanks for coming, Rich. Hope you come back next week.
Yeah, it's in the UK, so it's probably 1 a.m. now for him. So,
but this dog, they don't stay out with it, and when it wants in, it starts barking and howling and keeps going. And going. And this will be like 1 o'clock in the morning. You're hearing this. I've heard it during the day too. But, when you're trying to sleep and this just goes on and on and on, I swear to God, when I get to feel a little bit better, I'm just going to grab the keys. I'm going to get in the car. I'm going to go find that dog.
Oh no.
And I will get it out of the yard. Because there's no excuse for that. I can't imagine how their neighbors put up with it. I'm talking about this is 2 or 3 blocks from my house. I can tell by the distance, and I can still hear it in my living room. So, me and Pup and the owners are going to come to some kind of terms of agreement that the dog's going to hush, or I'm going to stick the law on them or something, because that's just not right. If the dog wants in, it's barking, it wants in, open the door and let the dog in. If I can hear it all the way over here, I know they can hear it in their house.
More creative solutions for barking dogs. Corkboard says, we had dogs next to us that barked. We bought a birdhouse that shot out a high pitch. Only a dog could hear. I controlled those beasts pretty quick. Must have been like a stealth speaker in the birdhouse, it seems like. And,
Arlene's got to leave. Hey, Arlene, go feed your man.
Bye, Arlene.
Said she's got a hungry man. I'd fix him a hungry man dinner.
Cool.
They have them microwavable now. You can have that ready in about a minute and a half.
Maz says he used to live in Townsville on the flight path to the airport, which was also the RAAF base. Regular planes were okay, but the landing FA-18s would shake the house. Yeah, some of those stealth planes, you think stealth that they're silent. No, they're not silent. They're just invisible to radar. Doesn't mean that they're quiet. They scream.
I have traffic rattle my windows in my house going up and down the street. These loud motorcycles and the kids. It's got them. I call them boom boxes. I don't know what they're called. It's got the beat thing going in the car. Those rattle my windows in my house, and I'm like, okay, spring's coming. I want spring. I want warmer weather, but could we just please? Calm down with all this noise.
Skywatcher footage and Dave Hart is in the chat. Welcome, both of you.
Good to see you both. We're going to have a drawing here in a couple minutes.
Yeah, let me get the channel up here.
Yeah, I like having the warm weather, but I do not like all that noise. And we have no noise ordinance in this town. And they got a weed ordinance, though. Don't you dare let a weed come up in your yard. You have Chief Weed be gone up at your door. And don't come to my door no more. His lesson with that. Oh. I will never get over that as long as I live. Sitting in your house, tending to your own business, doing your work. When it comes to your door to tell you that you got a weed behind your garage. Chief of police. Seriously. Can't make this up.
Don't people have better things to do?
Well, I think we need to do us a giveaway. You want to give the spiel?
I'll give the spiel. All right, folks. Now is the time to make sure you're not behind time. So if you've paused the video, crank that playhead all the way forward so we can all jump at the same time. Brenda has written the number down on a piece of paper. You'll need to guess that number. You guess only one time. And if someone guesses the number, you're going to win one of 4 prizes. She'll describe what the prizes are after the contest. If you live outside the lower 48 states of the United States of America, you can pay the postage. Or if you win and don't want to pay the postage, you can re-gift it to someone else in the chat. So everyone can play. She's going to write the number down as written out words, but the capital letters are going to be all over the place. So the bonus prize, you can go for a bonus prize, is put a number for how many capital letters you think she wrote when she wrote out the number as words. So what you would do is you would put your number guess slash and then a smaller number for the number of capitals. And you have 2 entries per try. 1 try only. And we'll do it when she says go. What's the number between what and what number?
The number is between 13 and 27.
All right. So when she says go, You'll choose between 13 and 27. Only pick once, and we're waiting for you to say go.
Go.
All right. I put an entry in the chat. Pick a number between 13 and 27. The first person that picks the correct number wins. Also, guess how many capital letters she chose in the word that she wrote down. Here we go. Now, see, Jim Bashir is being a smart aleck. He wrote between 13 and 20. That's too literal.
No winner yet.
Got a couple choices. If you haven't entered,
We
pick a
got a
number.
winner.
We got a winner?
We got a winner. Skywalker footage.
Skywalker footage. Excellent. You won.
The number was 20. And he didn't go for the bonus, but there's the
2 capital letters. Okay.
there it is.
You didn't choose a bonus number, but you won the prize. Congratulations, Skywalker footage.
Okay, now you get your choice of 4 items. Okay, the first item is one of my dragon pendants, dragon eye pendants.
You made more?
Yeah, I made some more. Ours a dragon eye. That's a purple one.
Okay.
All right.
Cool.
And then the second item I have is a little decorated box. You know how I like to decorate these boxes?
Yeah.
And that's the top of the box there. That's what the box looks like. And now the decorations on the top of it, if you remember Shelley Cole, she had this recipe for some stuff called sawdusto.
Sawdusto. Yeah, I have a piece of sawdusto. Look at
And
that.
the 2 little birds and the heart that's on this box, those are made from the sawdusto. Yeah.
That is a piece of sawdusto.
Yeah. The 2 little birds and the heart on the top of this box are made of the sawdusto. And the inside of the box is felted. So you can put your little jewelry items or whatever you want in there. But yeah, I got the little box. The third item that I have is your choice of the bracelets, the paracord bracelets. I've got a large, that's this one, and I got a smaller one. If you got a smaller wrist or you want one for a child, I got the small one. So you can have your choice out on the bracelets. And the fourth thing that I have, if you've got a little dog or a cat, see if I can show this. This is pretty big for showing, but it's a water tank thing and a feed bowl. And the feed bowl part comes off and tucks underneath. If I can do this juggling here, it tucks underneath like that. But it's a little water feed dish thing for a small dog or a cat. So that is the fourth item. So we got the dragon eye pendant, we got the little decorated box, we got the paracord bracelet, and we've got the dog cat dish thing.
Excellent. The Joe Sankovich showed up. Hi, Joe.
Hey, Joe, long time no see. We're just doing a giveaway here. Now, Skywalker, I need to know which item that you want so that I can put your name on it.
And then if you could email or message Brenda your mailing address. She is...
Yeah, we'll put
what's your
email address.
Is it brenda.gibson?
Yeah.
At gmail.com?
Yeah, there it is. So if
hard
you can
to choose. I like the box and the wristbands. Okay, got to pick.
Okay, you got to pick between the box and the bands, the paracord bracelet. Because you get your choice out on the bracelets, either the large one or the small one. Or you can have the box.
Okay, well, he's deciding. You can put interesting facts in the chat. That's what this show's all about. Mind equals blown. If it blows our mind, we'll give you free virtual tacos or cowbell rings.
He's going to take the box, all right? And then if you read up there, I put my email address. If you will email me your mailing address, I will send it out to you tomorrow.
Excellent. Brenda, thank you for doing that to the community. And if anyone super chats, the super chat money revenue will go to shipping.
Yes.
So if you like this concept and you like what Brenda's doing for the community and you want it to continue, consider super chatting, because that helps. Because postage isn't free.
No.
And she's on a fixed income.
Yeah, I'm on fixed income, so this is the only way that I can give the things away. You know, I give away things that either have been donated or things that I have made to the giveaway party that we do here.
Mm-hmm.
But postage, I have to come out of pocket with, and I haven't got it out of pocket, so it has to come from somewhere, and it comes from the AdSense revenue.
Hey, Jim Dockerell's finished the bathroom build. He has a few more pipes to connect behind the walls, but it's built. Congratulations, Jim. He's been doing property maintenance for, well, as long as I can remember. Seems like forever.
I think it's time for him to get on Russell's Simply Wooden Creations show as a guest and talk about everything that he's done and what else he's planning to do and what the future holds up there at the B&B, and you know what all he's got in the works.
He let us know when the housewarming party is, and we'll drive up to Canada and we'll install that silver pole in the room with the swimming pool, and
they'll never let us in there.
Brenda will bring bulk Jello.
We'll get stopped at the border.
Why do you have 500 boxes of Jello and a big steel pole? Well, officer, or Mountie. I guess they're Mounties.
The Mounties up there. Well, see, I always found that the best way to keep them off your back is invite them to the party. When I lived out on the farm, every time I was planning a party, I'd just call them up, say, "Hey, just so you know, Saturday night or Sunday afternoon, or whatever, we're having a shindig up here. And so if anybody calls and says that they hear a lot of loud noise, a lot of shooting, a lot of, carrying on, y'all are welcome to come. We're going to have a hog roast or, this, that, or that thing. Y'all welcome. Come on." And I was never bothered. They never showed up.
We got a super chat.
Woo, Dave, thank you. Looky there. That warrants some cowbell.
All right. The cowbell is warmed up now. I'm liking that.
Speaking of cowbell, there's going to be a new Heifer Haven go up tonight.
Yay. I love Heifer Haven. He appreciates what you do, Brenda.
Thank you very much.
Brenda does as well.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I don't know that I do that much.
You bring smiles to people. That's what you do.
I don't do anything out of character. It's just all me all the time. I had somebody ask me once, said, "Why are you always so happy?"
What a question.
I said, "Well, what the hell's the alternative? Do you rather I just sit up here and cried and whined and belly ached all the time? I mean, I'd much rather be happy." They say that
there's
laughter.
Enough of that on the internet as it stands. We don't need any more.
Laughter's the best medicine.
Sure.
They even tell cancer patients, you should watch comedies. Get yourself laughing. Take your mind off of whatever ails you. I'd much rather be happy. I try to find the humor in situations. Sure. Even when I'm aggravated, it's been a learning experience, I guess you'd say, where, you get, when you're young, you just get mad and get ticked off about things and just fester. But then I've gotten so that I may fester a little bit, but then I get to thinking about the funny parts of it.
Yeah, you got to find the humor in things.
So, I think that the world would be a happier place if people found more humor in the things that go on around them.
Agreed. And you know what? I've learned happiness is found in the little things. People are waiting for the big happy moment to come, or they save up for a vacation and they wait for that time. No, it's the little things in life.
Well, it's the journey.
Yeah.
It's the journey. It's not the destination. It's the journey. The destination's generally a big letdown.
Well, yeah,
You know, like the young girl. Oh, I can't wait till I get married. I can't wait till I get married. I can't wait till and she gets married, and then she finds out that, oh, well, this isn't so much fun.
I got a question. Was that for the cowbell or the smile? Says Corkboard TV. Was what? Yes. The answer is yes. I don't know.
My doctor's.
Jim, don't read. oh, Jim. Oh. Gotta watch him.
It's like the old lady sitting on the park bench. The guy came and crossed their path and said, "How's it going today, you ladies?" And, well, first one had a stroke, and then the second one had a stroke. You would have rather I read what he said, didn't you?
Probably, yeah.
My brother from another mother.
Trouble one and trouble two.
That's right. That'd have been us, buddy, if we'd been brother and sister. Oh, Lord have mercy.
Dave says we appreciate you too. He's talking to me. Well, thank you. I'll try and bring smiles to people's faces as well.
I can bring smiles to people's faces just walking through a room. The way I stagger around and
I'm gonna fire up that GoFundMe for a 24/7 camera crew to follow Brenda around as she goes out of the house and interacts with people in public, because I guarantee there ain't no reality show that's ever been published that's going to be as good as that, because she just runs over people that cross her. Someone just needs to like have a small amount of malfeasance, like just like the tiniest amount of sass, and she just destroys. And sometimes it's like an elaborate multi-step thing where the hammer falls at the end. It's not just a knee-jerk yell reaction. That's amateur. She's not amateur. She's a pro.
No, they start with me, and I'm just looking at them like, you have no idea what's about to befall you.
Brenda's thinking 10 steps ahead, baby.
I'm like, before I get out of here, you're going to fall, and you ain't even going to see it coming.
And she'll set it up where there's the widest possible audience for when the hammer falls. You know, it's like she doesn't do it one-on-one. Like that doesn't like move the needle in her mind. Like she's gotta socially humiliate.
That's right. That's right. Teach him to mess with me. See, and I'm gonna be the worst nightmare if I ever end up in the home. You know, because I hear these stories about these poor old folks getting berated and mistreated in the home. That ain't happening to me. No. So I guarantee you, I'm going to leave bodies in my wake. It's not going to be any fools. Can you imagine me and a bunch of other old people getting together in the home and we get us some tripwires? We set up our tripwires and then we go in a room and turn off the lights and start moaning.
See. For the video, I'm going to request the backing track for that video of everyone falling down. Limp Bizkit's Let the Bodies Hit the Floor. Let the bodies hit the floor.
There's a bunch of old people in their walkers and their wheelchairs and stuff. You know, they're all in there moaning in the dark. And you got people coming from all directions in all these different entrances to the room with tripwire.
Kicking butt, taking names.
That's right. Oh shoot! I tell you, you know, there's just too many people just sit back and take it. You know, I'm not one to sit back and take it anymore. I took it for years and years and years and years, and I had to learn. You know, it's a learned response on, okay, you know, you can't do this. This is just not good for your health to be sitting and putting up with their foolishness all the time. You got to find a way to get past them. And so, you know, I learned that, okay, you know, you just have to find little things that's going to get to them and watch for the opening. There's always an opening.
Yeah, and if you shut someone down, they'll think twice about doing it to someone else because they weren't expecting it from you. And I've learned, because I don't know if you realize this, but I'm nice to people, and a lot of times people perceive niceness as weakness.
Yeah.
And then they'll try and fire up the sass or the snark or the sideways comment, and then I hit back, and they don't expect it because I'm polite and I'm cordial and I have a sunny disposition most of the time. Not always, but I bought a book. I bought a book that taught you how this is going to sound like a joke, but I bought a book that taught you how to be an asshole. No, seriously. The title is Assholeology. And it teaches you how to be an asshole. And I just wanted to read it just so I could have some tools to kind of deal with it, because I don't like being mean to people. I mean, I want to be treated. I want to treat people the way I want people to treat me. And so now that sort of helped me. If you can believe it or not, it's a real book. It's a real book on it.
I don't have that one, but I do have several books in my library of The Art of Revenge. I have not had to refer to them very often, but that is not to say they have not been referred to at all.
Yeah. Have you there's a book that's very similar to that topic. I think you would love it. It's called The 48 Laws of Power. And what it does is it has 48 essays. It sounds boring, but believe me, it's fascinating, of people who have accumulated power and what they did to accumulate the power. And it goes all throughout history in example after example of how to gain and keep power and influence over the masses. So it'll look at different war generals. It'll look at people that came to the New World into South America, and they were looking for the city of gold and the mistakes they made along the way to gain that power. It's a fascinating read. And it's like, holy crap. There's like 48 skills that you can, and it's all mapped out in clear as day, what you do and what you don't do in certain situations to gain it. And I was like, so, but between the asshole book and then this book, I have some tools to still be a nice guy. See, you just can't be a nice guy in this world without those tools, because you won't get anywhere. Like, I don't want to not get anywhere. I work hard for what I want, and I don't want people taking advantage of me.
If I had to pick the major flaw in my psyche, it would be that I'm far too honest and trusting, that I just trust, and I'm just too honest with people, because the majority of them that I have run across, maybe I've just traveled in the wrong circles, they will lie to you, they will cheat you, they will steal from you, all while they're smiling, shaking your hand, and patting you on the back.
Yeah, friendly.
And you're being totally honest and trusting with them, and they're trying to find anything they can use against you and screw you over with.
Yeah. Frankie's here. Frankie's CNC and Woodworking Channel. Hello.
Hey, Frankie, good to see you. Two things from the chat. Jim's got to go. And Jim, great to have you this evening. We'll see you Saturday night. And Russell says that Jim Dockrell is going to be the guest Saturday night on Simply Wooden Creations.
Sweet.
So there you go.
Oh,
my wish has come true.
False alarm. So maybe dinner's not ready yet.
Oh, okay. She called him.
I don't know how much longer we're going to be hanging around, but
She called him and supper ain't ready. Lord have mercy.
Maybe the smell just made it seem like it was ready.
What are you having for dinner tonight?
We had chicken wings. We ordered 100 of them from a restaurant, and I went to pick them up because not the delivery charge, the tax and special prep to have it delivered was $24, and then it was a tip on top of that. I'm not paying that, so I went. That wasn't including the food. That was on top.
Yeah.
So yeah, because we had my son and his girlfriend over, so we had whole mountain chicken wings, which I could eat because
Boy, that sounds good. But I had a tooth pulled, so for the next few days, it's going to be soft stuff. It'd probably be soup again tonight.
I'm trying to figure out a lot of good meals that I can make, and I'm starting to come across a few. I tried to make low carb pizza, and that was sort of a disaster.
How about rutabagas? You like rutabagas?
I don't know. Haven't tried them.
You don't know? Lord have mercy. That would be totally on your keto that you could have rutabagas. Make you some rutabaga fries.
Now zucchini, there's a lot you can do with zucchini, and they can make zucchini pizza crust. You can make sautéed zucchini, like that. That's good.
I love rutabagas. When I was a kid, Mom didn't make them real often, but when she did, and then when I got out on my own and had my own garden, Lord, I could raise the best rutabagas you ever seen in your life. They were huge. These things, big as your head, great big rutabagas. Make 2 or 3 of the ones that you see in the grocery store. But yeah, you take a rutabaga and you chop it up into like French fry sizes, and I always bread them. I use like some panko breadcrumbs, and I'll put some seasonings and stuff in that, and then drop them in hot oil and fry them up till they're tender.
The internet says it's a cross between cabbage and turnip. Swedish turnip is another name for a rutabaga, a root vegetable.
And now, the way Mom always made them is she just cubed them up and then boiled them like you would a potato, and then she'd mash them and put butter in them. They're good that way too. But I like rutabaga fries because it kind of feels like a treat, instead of eating potatoes, which is a starch and carb, you can have rutabaga fries.
Yeah, no potatoes. But so I'm trying to figure that out. Yeah, cauliflower. Cauliflower is like a big thing, and I never really got into cauliflower. It doesn't have any taste. It's got a weird texture. I'm just like,
what you do is you break the flowerets all up on a cookie sheet and pour melted butter over them, and then sprinkle them with some paprika and cook them till they're tender in the oven. And they'll crisp up a little bit. And then you can put cheese on them, salsa on them, whatever you want to have on them. And they're good that way. That's probably my favorite way to do cauliflower.
Rockin' Woodworks is here. That's Eloy. Hi, Eloy.
Hey, Eloy. Good to have you with us. And then, let's see. How about cabbage casserole?
What casserole?
Cabbage casserole.
Cabbage? No, I haven't had that.
That's real good.
So yeah, well, I
bake that in the oven. It's pretty simple to make. You chop up your cabbage, you put it in a 13x9 pan, and then you chop up a sweet onion over top of that, and then you take a cup of mayonnaise, a can of any kind of cream soup, whatever kind of cream soup you like, cream chicken, cream of mushroom, whatever, and half a stick of butter. And you stir that all together and smear that over the top of it. And then you can put like some panko crumbs over the top of it, or those jerky onions, some kind of a little crunchy something on the top, and bake that for about 45 minutes, 350 in the oven. Oh, now there's some good eating.
Yeah, I'm learning. I'm learning what's out there and starting to find out what I like and what I don't like. It's different, and it's not cheap.
Mm-mm.
The bill has gone way up. When you buy fresh whole food, it's not. And the portions are smaller, and it costs twice as much. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, that's
Eating
why.
healthy's tough.
Yeah, with the
Hey,
fresh
Luana's
food.
here. We're not going to be on much longer, but hi.
Hey, Luana, good to see you.
Oh, she overslept. Oh, well. We're glad you're here. Drop a like before you forget, please.
But yeah, if you're eating fresh foods, a lot of times you can eat more than what you would eat if you were eating, stuff out of a box that you've mixed up. Your fresh cabbages and onions and your rutabagas and your fresher foods, fruits. You can have plenty of fruit.
Eloy
And that
says
sort of thing.
cabbage is explosively awesome. Hey, $3 super chat from Luana.
Woohoo! Thank you
Thank
very
you, Luana.
much. I know what she wants. There's a little cowbell.
Yay, little cowbell.
But yeah, I love to eat. I've always, had this compulsion for loving to eat. But then when menopause hit me, my metabolism shut down and the weight took over. And so now I'm trying to fix that, get that under control. But it's kind of on hold right now because, drinking broth, tea, because of the tooth thing. I can't disturb that. I got to let that thing heal. And
do not eat Mexican hat gummy candy.
no, nothing like
I
that.
made that mistake when I had the molars out.
No, can't
Or
do
the
that.
teeth, I should say.
Yeah, and let's see. I had some banana the other day. As long as I chew on the other side, I'm okay. But something soft. You can't have anything that you got to wall around in your mouth. It's got to stay on that one side. And I had a couple grapes. As long as I keep them over on the other side, don't get them near that hole that they left in my face, I do okay. But
I'm sorry you went through that. That does not sound like fun.
well, he's been telling me for like 3 years that thing need to come out of there, but it had not been bothering me. And if it hadn't been bothering me, I wasn't going to disturb it. Let's just leave it alone. Well, the other night at 10 o'clock at night, it decides that it is going to start throbbing. So at 8 o'clock that morning, I had him on the phone. And at 9:15, I was in their office. And by 10 o'clock, I was back home, less one tooth. So within 12 hours, I had it under control, but I'd had no sleep because it would not allow me to lay down. Anytime I'd lay down, it's like top of my head was going to come right off. And I'm like, oh, shoot, I cannot put up with this. This got to go. But yeah, finally, after all that time, that thing's gone. And I'm thinking, well, why'd you put it off? Well, a lot of reasons. One, you don't want to have to go through all that pain. You don't want to have to go through the healing process. You don't want to have to go through the pain of writing the check when they take the tooth out of your face.
Well, I mean, it seems to me, and I could be wrong, but you should try and save the teeth before you yank.
Well, there wasn't anything really left to save. The thing had been filled so many times that, it was gone. And so when you get so old and they have done just so much to your teeth, it gets to the point where there ain't nothing left to do anything with anymore. That's his big thing, wanting to save your teeth. But even he said, that thing's got to go. And I've got another one on the bottom that is going to probably have to go before very long. But there again, we're going to wait until absolutely necessary to take it out. It'll go to screaming at me one of these days that it's got to go. Eventually, there'll be some dentures in my future, I guess. But, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
That's right. That's right.
I was looking over here to see if anybody else had anything. Jim Dockrell's saying something about onion, peppers, and green tomatoes. I like green tomatoes fried. I'm looking forward to garden season because I always plant me some tomatoes to get me some green tomatoes. Going to the farmer's market, you can't even hardly find green tomatoes. And so I have to grow my own green tomatoes to fry. But I love my green fried tomatoes.
I'm going to try and grow some sunflowers this season. I got that pack that's a couple years old, but I'm gonna put them in the damp towels to see if I can get them to start running.
Mm-hmm.
And
Get some germination going.
yeah, I like that. I like a little bit of plants. I don't like a lot of plants.
Well, I'm going to do a bunch of green beans this year, and I usually put out about 3 or 4 tomato plants. And I don't know that I'll be planting anything else. If I do, it'll be maybe a couple cucumbers or something like that. But I'm not going to go hog wild on a big garden this year. But I definitely need green beans. I love my green beans, and when I pick them, I just bring them right in the house and I break them and wash them and get them in the pot. And when I talk pot, I'm talking about a huge pot.
Just your cauldron.
And then put about 5 pounds of taters in that. And I go get me about 5 to 10 pounds worth of ham shanks and wash them up and put them in there. And I cook the whole thing up. And then I pull the bones from the ham shanks out. And then I go to freezing it and get it in the freezer. And then anytime I want green beans, they're cooked, they're ready to go. So all I got to do is thaw them and heat them up.
Wow.
So there's probably going to be several pots of those beans put up this summer. I'm looking forward to that. Jim Bashir says the rabbits ate all his bean and pea plants last year.
Oh, no.
Well, now, when I plant mine, my garden is all put in 100-gallon burlap sacks. It's all above ground. So there's nothing down there at ground level for them to get to. That does not stop the squirrels from trying to get my tomatoes. The squirrels come through and they will take tomatoes. Yeah. So, I'm always out there trying to find some way to keep the squirrels off.
Oh, Jimbo's here. Hi, Jimbo.
Hey, Jimbo. Good to see you.
We're going to shut the show down here any moment, but we're glad you're here.
Well, see, he says he doesn't have his finger on the button. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
I love the Wizard of Oz references.
He may be the Pizzer of Oz, but
the Wizard of Haas with the emerald green.
That ain't what I said, but okay. But yeah, now let's see. We said that Saturday night's going to be Russell's show, and he's going to have Jim Dockrell on as a guest. That's Simply Wooden Creations for anybody that wants to come over there and hear about Jim's house. He bought a church and he's revisioned it into a home and a B&B. And so if you want to come over and hear what all goes on with that, you need to come over to Simply Wooden Creations, 8:00 Sunday night, Simply Wooden Creations, Eastern time. And then later Sunday night, we changed the clocks. We moved the clocks up an hour. We're going to spring forward. And then Monday night will be Matt with All Things YouTube at 7 p.m. Eastern time over there on All Things YouTube, where he tells us they were all his antics with Susan and what all's going on in Susan's world. And let's see, then Wednesday is going to be Shamrock Day. So everybody be sharing the wearing of the green. And then Thursday we'll be back here, Lord willing, Creeks Don't Rise, with another exciting episode of Mind Equals Blown. So Simply Wooden Creations is not on Saturday. Isn't that what I said? Saturday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern time. And then later Saturday night, early Sunday mornings when we change the clocks.
Yeah, I thought you had it right, but okay. Simply Wooden Creations, Saturday is when it's on. Eastern, Saturday, Eastern time.
Yep. And then later that night, we changed clocks. Monday is Matt's show at 7 p.m. Eastern on All Things YouTube. Wednesday, Wearing of the Green. Thursday, back here for whatever it is we do.
We had over 100 shows. We haven't figured it out yet. We'll get there.
So we thank everybody for coming. We love y'all, and we'll be looking for you on the interwebs. Night, everybody.